Here are 10 of the best tips that I could come up with for somebody who's just getting started and learning how to play the Bazaar. Tip number 1. Do not lose your monster fights. Unless it's a random encounter, you need to make sure you win your guaranteed monster fights, especially in the first 5 to 6 days, as the difference between being a level apart is huge when it comes to winning fights against other players. If you aren't sure if your board is strong, I highly recommend always fighting the bronze monster, as it's almost impossible to lose. And why are monster fights so important? Well, that's because tip number 2 is XP is king. You see, XP is single-handedly the most important stat in the game. Having a level advantage can give you access to things ranging from extra item slots in the early game to a free enchant at level 10, and even diamond level skills towards the endgame. Key examples of this XP gain include random encounter, mountain pass, and also study. But there are other hidden options that can be discovered as you play the game that are linked to certain items that you might want to keep inside your stash that will also help you get XP. Wherever you can get it, always grab XP. It is the number one thing you can do to improve your win rate. Being a level, or sometimes 2, over your opponent is almost a guaranteed win. Look at this example where I have 1,300 more HP than my rival. Early on, that's an insane difference. Tip number 3. Use your stash. There's a reason you have an extra 10 stash slots. If your stash is empty, you're playing at a serious disadvantage. There are many reasons to keep items in your stash. Whether it's finding a powerful item that doesn't fit your board just yet, items that generate free stuff at the start of the day, or even holding certain items to be sold for higher value at specific shops, you always want to keep your stash full. Just be careful to leave space for things that are generated at the start of a new day, otherwise you're gonna lose them with no warning. Tip number 4, shop till you drop. If your board is weak and you're losing fights constantly, you need to prioritize shops above most other things. Shops are the easiest and most common way of fixing builds that are lacking certain components, or even hunting for other items to help you pivot to another type of build mid-run. Just remember that if you have no gold, then, well, you shouldn't go into a shop. The way I see it, the stronger your build is, the less you want to shop, while the weaker your build is, the more you want to shop. Also keep in mind that rerolls are an important part of shopping. And as a general rule, you should always keep the reroll cost in mind before you go into a shop. Pay attention to the border of the merchant, as that will indicate the cost of rerolls. Bronze is 2, silver's 3, gold is 4, and finally diamond is 6. Tip 5. Fill your board early. Your number one priority in the first few days is to always make sure that you have your board full of items. Unless you're going for some crazy meme build, there is no reason not to have a full board of random crap. And why is this point so critical? Well, it's because tip number 6 is early wins matter. If your goal is to constantly get silver, gold, or even the coveted perfect diamond win, you need to win as much as you can, as early as you can. As a general rule of thumb, anything past day 10 is a coin flip. You might have the craziest burn build ever made, only to face the craziest shield build ever made. The first few days are much more in your control, and therefore it is your number one priority to make sure you're doing everything you can to win while it's still in your control. And this is primarily done by tip number 7, find your carry. Normally in any build, there's going to be 2 types of items. Those that are doing the heavy lifting, and those that support the item and help it do it faster, or better, or stronger. An easy example could be Jabalian War Drums, but obviously by itself, the item's not going to be doing much. So how can we support it? Easy. Put as many weapons as you can on your board. The faster and smaller, the better. In this particular case, it's pretty evident, but unfortunately, this is going to come a lot from trial and error. My advice is to find an item that can win you a fight and then ask yourself, how can I support this item to its fullest potential? Don't worry if you lose a lot of fights at first. The whole point of the game is to have fun and try out different builds. Tip number 8 is to learn your auto picks. There are certain spaces that you're always going to want to auto pick over the standard options. Besides options that let you fight extra monsters, some of my favorites include free enchants. Giving your items a free enchant can get kind of nutty. Enchants are very good at making your items much better, especially things like shield or doubling its damage, or if you're lucky, shiny. Monster Ranch. There are always some great options, primarily feathers for lowering the cooldown of your items, or XP vials. Pearl's dig site. I will always pick this option if it's offered to me. That's because Pearl can let you find items that your hero might not normally have access to, letting you create some truly busted builds. Pearl's dig site is, to me, the #1 spot that I will always go to no matter what. And the best part is, the item's completely free. So if you find something that might not fit in your build but can sell for a lot of money, well then that's also something nice. Just be careful not to dump all your money re-rolling over and over and over. Hattie. Hattie is just fun, and some of his options can also give you crazy rewards. There's a little bit of randomness to it, but honestly, all of them are pretty nice. And finally, both expeditions or the options to buy tickets for the expeditions are always worth it, as they give tons of money and sometimes powerful items and/or enchants. If you have to choose between day 6 and day 9, I would always go for day 6, as it's much better and usually the rewards are much more consistent. And you want to hold on to your enchanted items that don't fit into your build, because that's tip number 9. Transmute your enchanted items. If you're playing Mac, you can use this catalyst to turn an enchanted item that you might not like into a similar sized item with the same enchant. But what if you're not Mac? Well, that's where this NPC comes into play. It's not obviously always a smart option, but if you have a good enchant like Shield or Obsidian, it might be worth it sometimes to try and transmute the item. Remember that if you transmute an item, it will always turn into an item that belongs to your hero, and it will maintain its size. And finally, tip number 10, become a boosty boy. There are 2 options that you will come across, and those are Jules Cafe and Relax. Early on, if you're doing a build with multiple small fast weapons, the 25 damage option can be very, very interesting to help guarantee you early wins. Later on day 10 and onwards, grabbing extra HP is always nice, and if I can grab Relax before the final fight of the day, I will almost always take it if I'm missing 1 or 2 wins from a victory. Just remember to avoid grabbing Relax before your mandatory monster fight, as you'll lose the shield bonus if you fight anything in between. And finally, my last and most important tip is experiment. It sounds incredibly cliche, but no other game will offer you the level of build diversity that the Bazaar can. If you want to try an atomic clock reload build and just outlast your opponent, then go for it. Remember that this game is about experimenting, and the greatest feeling in the world is seeing the fruits of your labor finally pay off. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give me a like and subscribe to the channel. And let me know if you want to see more content like this in the future.